Alrighty guys, we're back for Boros Burn. This is an Edge of Eternities standard brew, and I'm Red Cat. Let's briefly go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked. So why go Boros? Why not just like mono red? Well, pretty much for Boros Charm, making the cut as a 3-of in here. It's for that top ability mostly, where you do 4 damage to target player or planeswalker. That's a chunk of damage, dude. But we're also splashing white in here for 3 Lightning Helix as well. Pretty much just dropped the Lightning Strike, went up the Lightning Helix instead, right? Because the life gain really does come in handy. Also have a 1-of Lightning Army of 1 and a top end Twinmaw Stormbrood. At 6 mana, you're not going to really be casting this as the dragon side very often, but the Omen side could really come in handy, so do some rearranging. For just 1 and a red sorcery speed Omen, 5 damage to target creature without flying. Okay, so it doesn't say 5 damage to target creature an opponent controls. You can totally smack your own Screaming Nemesis with that, which of course, as we know, could be pretty good. All 4 Screaming Nemesis make the cut, of course. We do have more top end here with Nova Hellkite. We got to do some rearranging because the warp cost is just 2 and a red, so... Now it has flying and haste, it's a 4/1, and when it enters, it deals 1 damage to target creature and opponent controls. Nice. Also here on the top end, we have a couple Virtue of Courage, another one where we got to do some rearranging because, of course, you're going to be activating that adventure side first way more often than the actual Virtue of Courage side. Now, once you actually get to 5 mana and you can play Virtue of Courage, the opponent is in danger. Hopefully they have a Get Lost, right? Because, boy, the Virtue really helps you see a lot off the top as you continuously burn away the opponent's face with cards like Boltwave, making the cut as a 3-of. We have 4 lightning burst lightning. We have 4 plasma bolts as well, and I don't think it's going to be unheard of to actually get that void for 3 damage instead of the 2 damage to any target. So ways to get the void in here, of course, warping out the Hellkite, but also we have treasure token generation off the Magda Hoardmaster. This is a 2-mana 2/2 legendary creature that we don't get to see very often. Whenever you commit a crime, create a tapped treasure token. This ability triggers only once each turn. So yeah, you could totally have that ability on your turn and keep open an instant speed burst lightning for the opponent's turn too. Sacrifice 3 treasures. Create a 4/4 red scorpion dragon creature token with flying and haste. Okay, yeah, I like Magda a lot. It's been way too long since I've revisited this card. Now we do have ways to see more off the top with Grab the Prize. So as an additional cost to cast a spell, discard a card, draw 2 cards. If the discarded card wasn't a land, Grab the Prize, deals 2 damage to each opponent. Don't worry about that bottom ability. That's just a little bit of a bonus, right? If you have to get rid of land because you're flooding, go for it. Don't worry about the 2 damage, right? But there's also going to be a lot of moments where maybe you just discard a Burst Lightning since that was going to be 2 damage to the opponent's face anyways, and the Grab the Prize just does that 2 damage instead type of thing, right? We also have a demand answers in here. There's a potential for sacrificing one of the Magda treasures instead of actually discarding, which could be pretty good. All right, 23 total mana. One of them is a Lindblum, and there's our splash of white. We actually don't have any planes, which could be pretty sketchy if the opponent has ways to pop our land. Hopefully it's fine though, especially with all 4 Sunbillow Verge pretty much just acting as the planes at that point, and Foundry powers up the Verge, and all 10 mountains powers up the Verge too. Okay, honorable mentions. There's a lot of directions we could have taken this. One of those directions was the lizard direction, like Hired Claw and Pyromancer, for example. I have the Lightning Strike over here too, but yeah, Lightning Helix is going to be much better in this list, hopefully, right? As long as the mana doesn't hold us up at all. I thought about Coruscation Mage for sure, and if I went this like more creature-heavy route, I definitely would have had Opera Love Song, but we don't have too many creatures in here, aside from the top end, so... yeah. All right. I do my dandiest to save the more in-depth discussion for the end of the video, so look forward to that. In the meantime, let's go ahead, take this into some ranked, see how we do. All right. Getting right into that first game. What am I expecting from the build? I think it's going to be pretty good, man. We'll see. We'll see how fast our hand fizzles out. We'll see how often we get stuck on double Verge in our opening hand. Okay, we do have to mulligan because it's only white sources. A lot of lands we could draw into that powers them up, but we literally can't do it. We can't rely on that. Yeah, there we go. All right, much better. Yeah, if that happens too often, we might drop a couple Verge and go up a couple starting towns instead. I'm afraid to send mana right now, so I'm going to send one of the Virtues, and I hope that's okay. No, I'll send the Verge. Yeah, we'll be fine. We still have a majority land in the deck list. Ooh, Valley Might Caller. I don't think that'll get too large for us to take care of next turn. And we definitely should take care of it as soon as possible. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. And they still got green open. That's not good news. On the stack of them tapping out for creatures, we should try it, but I don't like passing it back as that could leave bigger pieces of protection open for the opponent. I think I will try to wait for the last moment, though. We'll try. And hopefully it's not some kind of fancy pants protection. I think... Are there any flash froggies or rabbits or anything? I can't think of any. I'm going to save the Lightning Helix. We're going to just try the Blaze on the 2/2 Might Caller. If they do have that protection open. Nice. That's really good news for us, guys. It lands. We don't find the third mana. We go grab the prize. Grab the prize. If we find an open mana, we could go Plasma Bolt onto the Might Caller. Get rid of the other Virtue. I don't know if we need two of them over here. And I like the rest of the hand a little bit too much right now. We do find the open mana, guys. Thank goodness. Yep, pop the other Might Caller while we can. I was going to say, I mean, if it was protection, you'd think that they would have done it last turn for the 2/2, so... Okay, we'll see if we can establish the Lightning Army of One. Without creatures on the board, it might not be sheltered by Ghost. Patchwork Banner, nice! See what they call here, rabbit or frog? Rabbits, hi! Oh, Screaming Nemesis. You know what, I'm going to be patient with it. Let's try to get some big damage through with lightning, and we'll see if they have creature and sheltered by Ghost on the same turn. Because with Patchwork Banner ramping them to 4, they could easily do something. We don't want Nemesis to be picked up by the Sheltered by Ghosts, because we want to be able to stop the life gain from Sheltered by Ghosts with the Nemesis. It's just going to be a couple creatures, actually. Really good double block creatures, which I guess we could save a Lightning Helix open. See if they do double block. Probably have to pop the Phineas no matter what. No, they're going to take the damage here. Okay, right. Like I said, we probably want to pop the Phineas no matter what. The question is, do we want to go Demand Answers, risk finding the 4th mana for the Lightning, or do we just go Lightning Helix? Yeah. You know what? I will risk it. I like risky plays, guys. Let's get rid of one of the Hellkites. We do find the mana. Beautiful stuff. All right, we do this before they untap, period. The Mentor would be really good to hit here too, but Phineas is a problem. If they go wide next turn and swing, they're both a problem, but both very powerful creatures that we got to deal with to some extent. Yeah, getting the lightning damage through was really cool, but yeah, I think it was still worth the swing. See if they potentially double blocked or anything like that. Dollmaker Shop. Nice, nice. Okay, they go for the swing probably. Get that 1/1. Still got 2 mana open. Is the Sheltered by Ghost going to come down yet? No, the opponent must be missing the Sheltered by Ghost, which is honestly a little bit unlucky. So we got 8 in the air with the Hellkite if Lightning gets through. We don't know what this 2 mana open is. If it gets through with the block, it's another 2. That's 10. Then Burst Lightning's only 4. But I think it still might be that play, right? Hellkite over Nemesis, similar concept. I'm just really worried about the Sheltered by Ghost. So pretty big damage here. Oh, that's right. Hellkite middle ability. Well, I wonder if they have spot removal for Lightning then, because we do have lethal on the board. Okay, it looks like it's happening. Now the rest is double damage. Maybe they got some, they might have some life gain at instant speed. I'm not sure what it would be right now, but there we go. Right down to 0. That was good. Yeah, that wasn't bad at all. Poor little bunny rabbits, though. I love seeing bunnies. I love seeing people still playing the bunnies and everything, too. I can imagine the deck list is having a pretty hard time versus the current standard, but still, a fun one. We got to revisit bunny rabbit soon, too. See what kind of new cards we could pack into it. Yeah, as far as first games go, doing the burn thing and doing it well with our one of Lightning, it's pretty cool. That was nice. All right, now we're talking, huh? Verge not holding us up, forcing a mulligan. We get to keep this. Not a lot of early things, but can we complain? No. So starting town from the opponent could be anything. We probably don't care about keeping the Burst Lightning open. We'll just get this down tapped and not worry about taking the 2 from the shock. Oh, fear of missing out. Okay, right. Let's see what style this is. Could be Gruul Delirium, which is a wickedly fast deck list right now. So keeping Lightning Helix open is probably better than just popping that right now, if it is Delirium. But there's a number of things that this could be based on the starting town, like Una Reanimator, for example, right? So Fenrir, I don't know if that's usually on the top end of Gruul Delirium. I doubt it. But it is an enchantment creature, so that should count for something. Oh, they grab a plains. Okay, so it is gonna be Una. We're gonna go Blaze on the Fenrir, so we don't got to deal with that ability next turn or the turn after, giving them further card advantage and stuff. And while they're tapped out, we could hit the fear of missing out, but they're about to run right into Una anyways, so we might as well try the most explosive thing possible, and that is establish Lightning and go crazy next turn. Mana off the top. I mean, we won't get there yet, plus they could keep a blocker back. This blocks the fear of missing out really well too, though. Plus, we do need to actually see the mana off the top to really pop off anyways. Like Warping in Hellkite, then Void on the Plasma Bolt would be, if Lightning gets through, 8 from the Hellkite, 6 from the Bolt. Una comes down right on time, guys. Fenrir will come back. So this would have just been the fear of missing out coming back, but giving them the ramp on the Fenrir is pretty bad. I don't know. I'm not 100% certain if that was okay. I don't think they block the Lightning. That would be very dangerous with open burn. But we won't get the Hellkite play. But we should probably still swing. We could double down on burn on the Una, which is probably what we end up doing, but we still want to try to get Lightning through because it's double damage to their permanents too. So I'll keep the Foundry in hand because we'll still have Helix and Burst Lightning without the Foundry. Okay, opponent, I apologize, buddy. Here, let's see what you do. Yeah, we might have to burn away one of these other things too if they double block. It's a tough decision for the opponent for real. Lightning really helping us out in these first couple games. They go for double block. One of them is with Yuna. I mean, that has got to be the best block possible for the opponent, right? But we're still, so we are going to have to double down here. Unless am I thinking wrong? No. Yeah, there's no way for us to get that through. So we went to Lightning Helix, the fear of missing out. Yeah, we don't want to lose lightning by any means. So we'll do that. Beautiful. All right. You know what? I might just Plasma Bolt the opponent's face for 6 damage. It's probably fine, right? Let's get that extra damage through. Wait a minute. We didn't get damage through. Oh, mistakes were made. 3 damage is fine, right, guys? No, Yuna went down to 3, not 2. We did not push any trample damage through there. That's my bad, guys. For some reason, I thought we got damage through. Oh, crap. They got enough mana for that boiler bilges, too. Go for the swing, and they're happy about it. Can't get past the 5-3 with the lightning either. That's probably a good block for them. Mana off the top is good because we could run into Virtue. I'd love to start pushing this excess damage through in the air with the Hellkite. But we know Lightning's going to die to the Overlord. So, like, establishing Virtue could be the best way to push this damage through. You know what? I apologize, opponent. Tough decisions for just a few cards. Because we have, like, we have a good chunk of damage if they don't remove lightning at instant speed here with 2 cards here. Grab the Prize won't have a discard, though. If we go... I mean, we could discard the Verge first. See what we find. That doesn't seem great. Let's go for the swing. Yeah, we'll save Hellkite for next turn, I guess. Which doesn't seem that great, but... Wow. I guess we could get another 4 with Grab the Prize, ditch the Hellkite, but Hellkite's just like... Hellkite's what could get us the rest of the way. Grab the Prize would do 4 down to 10. We could find more burn off the top this turn. It's all double damage. I'm going to go for it. Yeah, why not? Let's do the risky stuff, right? Oh, Magda's pretty good. I like that. So we could play this. Play Magda. We have another 4 on the Burst Lightning, but we can save it for instant speed on their turn. Yeah, not establishing Virtue is a little sketchy, but I guess we could have found lethal damage this turn, technically. That would have been pretty lucky, though. Yeah, we'll save Burst Lightning for their turn. They draw off of the Fenrir. I'm not sure I should have opted that Fenrir earlier, but it still seemed like a good play. Especially since we got to keep the Lightning Helix for another play later on then, too. Just so much value coming from the 1 card. Yeah, so pretty much no matter what, the Burst Lightning. Well. Oh, they just go for the 4 mana side. Okay, yeah, so they're going to hit Lightning. Yeah, if we go Burst Lightning, it still does 4 damage to the Terra. We could do 8 damage next turn. Oh, they have something for the Magda. No, we can't do 8 damage next turn. The Lightning ability is about to end. I apologize, guys. I've played Magic once before, I swear. Okay. Let them keep the Terra. Hit 4 to face. And hope to top deck burn for the next couple turns. We get Treasure, so we can still go Virtue and still have the 1 mana open too. Demand Answers could be a good top deck here. I'll pop the treasure. Screaming Nemesis is the play over the Virtue all day. Wow. All right. All right, let's see it, opponent. What else do you got for me? Looking at the ability on the Terra here. For 6 mana. Token that's a copy of non-legendary enchantment. Seam Rip doesn't hit Screaming Nemesis. Gains haste. At 3. Bahamut does hit the Nemesis and they full cast it, guys. Wow. Wow. This is anyone's game. We could top deck burn. We do. I'd say the risky plays worked out there. I was definitely doing a couple janky things there where, number one, that one turn where I thought Lightning got a little damage through, and I thought we were hitting for 6 damage. We only hit for 3. If I would have known that, right, we could have saved that Void card for later, especially popping the treasure with it. So that really matters. All right. Dude, we're doing the thing, huh? While I have you here in the middle of the video, make sure you check out that description where we do have that Discord link, as well as that Patreon link too, if you're interested in joining either of those up or supporting the channel that way. Then also, guys, if you like the video, make sure you actually drop it a like. And if you enjoy the channel, then consider subscribing because it really does help out the channel. So thank you, guys. All right, we keep this. Best hand of the evening. We are patient with our Plasma Bolt. Llanowar Elves. Ugh. I don't like that. I don't think we should let them keep that. But also getting Magda down first. Oh, I'm gonna regret this, huh? Let's get that Magda down. Let's see how this goes. Let's see. The Llanowar Elves making the appearance most often in landfall builds. Another Llanowar Elves. They still got 1 mana open. 3rd Llanowar Elves? No, it is going to be mana and a Promising Vein. So, Promising Vein, Innkeeper's Talent. Looks like they rocking the Innkeeper's Talent as a little surprise card for Tifa and whatnot, right? So we should probably bolt the Llanowar Elves. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine, guys. I think I'm going to trade out the Grab the Prize to itself because I like the rest of the hand a lot. All right. Opponent's down to 16. I don't mind this hand. With treasure on the board, Mossborn Hydra, that needs to go. See if they find land right away. Fable Passage will get it out of the burn range. Fable Passage, right on time, guys. Well, I'm not scared. Are you scared? I'm not scared. Screaming Nemesis doesn't block trampling creatures very well. Actually, with the Innkeeper's Talent, I'm surprised they didn't wait for main phase 2 to play the Fable Passage. So, Lightning Army of 1 is decent. Still get a good swing. Got a great swing with the Nemesis. Full swing doesn't work, though, because the Magda into the Mossborn Hydra doesn't mean... it means the Virtue doesn't get there. We probably die next turn no matter what, unfortunately, guys. So, like, first strike with the lifelink could be the best way to survive, but I doubt it. I think we're gonna die no matter what. We have to keep all blockers back just in case. They might miss a way to get 2 land onto the board. It's a forest. That's not 2 land until a Spring Blossom Druid comes down, right? Or Spring Bloom? Spring something. Spring Bloom. Hi. Right on time, I suppose. They get 2 more lands, which means the Hydra goes to a 40-40. So, like I said, we're going to die pretty much no matter what. Unfortunately, the burn missing the Hydra the first turn that it came out was definitely the turn where we lost, right? They go ahead and boost wide here because why not? They don't know what's in hand. Since we are Boros colors, it could be like a Get Lost or something, but this Llanowar Elves would probably just be a Snakeskin Veil at that point. So we can go ahead, pop a treasure token, get another treasure token from the Magda, which is actually really neat, right? And we have a full block here where we go up to 21. It is going to be a Snakeskin Veil. Yeah, wow, okay. So even if we had something more fancy to take care of the Hydra, they had the protection available. -15. That could have been much worse, honestly, right? For sure, for sure. Yeah, so far so good with the deck list, I would say. As far as early burn goes, we got a ton of early burn. I think there could have been instant speed ways to deal with that Mossborn Hydra right away, but as we saw, the opponent has Snakeskin Veil. We don't know how long they were holding that open with the other Llanowar Elves anyways, so we still could have had a really rough time, even if we had found more early burn to deal with that right away. All right, get the Foundry down tapped without any worries. Parlor from the opponent. And Vantage. Keep the burn open and probably use Virtue to face if we don't have a target. That's probably a good enough target, right? So I can start getting Nemesis through. Nemesis gets through anyways. Let's see what they discard here. See if we're up against more Yuna. Probably Yuna with a Esper Origins. At that point, fear of missing out is not that scary. I'm going to let them keep that, and we're going to focus burn to the opponent's face. Come on down, Nemesis. 4th mana would be terrific next turn. Or a 1-mana burn spell would be pretty good too. See what their 3rd turn looks like. Maybe a tapped land and a 2nd fear of missing out or something. Tapped land. Some generic spot removal for Nemesis would be worst case scenario, but it can't be completely unheard of. It's not just generic spot removal. It is damage spot removal. Great news for us, guys. No more life gain for the opponent, so no life gain off of the Esper Origins and stuff is crazy business. Nova Hellkite slipping 4 through now is pretty good, but based on how they had to deal with the Nemesis last turn, really good draw. We just go for it. Again, 4th mana would be really good here. Okay, Terra. And Terra just doesn't block very well. Definitely want their 4th mana, but it's going to be tapped mana. Grab the prize is pretty good. We can actually grab the prize. Discard probably the Magda, unfortunately, for this game. Find a 4th. Maybe do that before combat. Nah. Now, if that's what we're going to do, this is totally fine, because we don't have any early creatures that affect the combat anyways. This would be a really bad block for the opponent, so they probably go down to 7. They want to clean up the Nemesis at the risk of taking 1 more point of damage, which could be all it takes, as we have the rest of the burn in hand now. If we did find the 4th mana, this would be game this turn, but we'll keep the Hellkite. Yeah, Magda not doing too much here. Oh, wow. Plasma Bolt's pretty good too, huh? Opponent goes down to 1. They're in danger, and they don't have any life gain available thanks to the Nemesis. They got Summoner of the Mist. Dredger's Insight. The starting town. If there's one way to go, if there's one way to concede, that is the way to concede, right? Awesome stuff, guys. Wow. Yeah, Burn doing the thing, doing it well. I really want to see Magda do a little bit more today, but I do like the addition so far. As a 3 of 2 makes sense. Like, you might look at it like, it's kind of a janky pick. It's too slow for the deck list or something. But I don't know. And when you get it down early too, and it eats up some of the opponent's spot removal, because they probably should remove it, right? It's kind of, it can be significant ramp in a burn deck list. Waiting on the opponent here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, guys. Might have to restart. That happens sometimes. Yeah, I'll go ahead. I'll do that real quick instead of rambling. Yeah, so unfortunately the game did bug out there. We got a draw. Sure, why not, right? We'll try again while I talk more about the Magda. So the Magda, guys, it's like, it's one of those cards where it takes removal away from the opponent, and then they don't have any more removal for your Screaming Nemesis or your Nova Hellkite too, right? At that point. At 3 mana for Hellkite getting 4/3 in the air, we're kind of treating it as like 4 damage burn. Kind of, right? Kind of, sort of. All right, we'll give it a shot. I like seeing Boros Charm here a lot. Oh, double Verge. Crap. We'll be fine. We'll try it. We'll try it. See, I'm very concerned about the 4 Verge in here. If you guys can't tell. For good reason, I guess. Yeah. We'll see how much it actually holds us up. We might want to consider dropping a couple of Verge, going up a couple starting town as a way to splash the white in here instead, because 100% of the cards need red sources. And so there's going to be plenty of games where you just need to play multiple red sources all on the same turn. There we go. Vantage. All right, beautiful. Beautiful stuff. Boros Charm we can keep open. Tersa to the Grave. I don't think we usually see that deck list running counter spells, right? I think I'll just smack 4 to the opponent's face while we have the open mana. Return Triumphant. Nice. All right, let's see the discard. Oh, I'm sorry, opponent. I'm holding you up here. I thought they were already deciding. So they get a young hero role attached to it. And they do get the swing. And that is a nice stocked up graveyard for the opponent. Whenever this creature attacks, if its toughness is 3 or less, put a +1/+1 counter on it. So Tersa doesn't actually get a counter. No, I've played Magic once before. It does say 3 or less, not... Yeah, so Tersa gets 1 +1/+1 counter, which is actually pretty good. I will also do 4 damage, opponent. Although your Tersa is a little bit more impressive, I must say. We'll try to outpace. I don't think we can outpace right now, though, based on what we have. We could double down on Tersa, but we know what kind of deck list it is. So, Mini Reanimator is really tough to deal with, because every time we pop a creature with effective burn, we could keep a blocker, but then they just pop the blocker with a Get Lost or something, so... Or at that point, some Mini Reanimators just rock some tempo cards, too. We'll see. We're going to try to outpace. We do have some decent damage. We might trade out the Verge for the Grab the Prize. Collar comes back tapped because Helping Hand. Now see, something like the Steamcore Scholar, getting 2 different swings with the Young Hero roll, eventually getting to a 4/4 Flying Vigilance is actually pretty crazy. They do pop the Nemesis here. We have an option to hit face or hit their 2/2, and it's usually face. We are Boros Burn, so it's too bad the Plasma Bolts aren't actually open here. So Mountain's great news. Can play that, powers up the Verge. Grab the Prize. We don't got to worry about the bottom ability. We just trade out the Verge, try to find as much burn as possible, hope we don't die next turn. We could die. With Winter Night Stories in the grave, they could play Eidetic Memory, Winter Night Stories for 1 mana by tapping the Light Shatter. No, we're still at 12. What am I saying? We're fine. I do actually like having the 5th mana here. We could consider just ditching the Plasma Bolt, getting 2 through that way. 5th mana could come in handy next turn. Nah. We're fine. Ditch the land, don't worry about it. Hellkite, really good. So we have Plasma Bolt, Pop Scholar. They can bring it back, potentially. Plasma Bolt. Double Plasma Bolt, Tursa. 6 damage on the board. Grab the prize's sorcery speed, unfortunately. And so is Plasma Bolt. Alright, yeah, this is fine. Get them down to 8, find more off the top. Another Hellkite and another Plasma Bolt. So, guys, mana? Mana off the top? See, I sent that Verge and I said the 5th mana could really come in handy, but with them being at 8, double Plasma Bolt and a Hellkite could be enough. No, it's not, though, because Scholar has Vigilance. They do find the Eidetic Memory, which is terrifying business. Really could have been a great swing. Winter Night Stories back from the grave, but keeping 2 mana open, they're on a 1 turn. We're on a 1 turn clock anyways, so the opponent's playing it slowly, playing it safe. Extra blocker on the ground. Yeah, since they have a chump blocker in the air, Hellkite not doing too much. Virtue of Courage. We have 6 total burn in hand with our 4 mana. See, this is a game where Magda really would have come in handy. An extra treasure token would have been insane here. Pop the treasure, Plasma Bolt the opponent's face, and then Virtue of Courage. Yeah. That's really good, huh? Either way, we die on the ground, even if we double down on the Scholar. So I guess at that point, the best play would just be the Hellkite. Warp it in, see what they end up doing here. It's 1 damage to anything, so I guess we'll just hit the Scholar. Pretty sure they want to block, because they don't know what's in our hand. We didn't even play mana for the turn, so... And, wait, we're actually not... No, we are. We're totally dead because of the Eidetic Memory. They have to draw an extra card, which would just be so easy for them. I was going to say, I'd like to go face, but we could survive. We could. We'll see. Get the good game ready. I do think it's the opponents, though. With the memory established, I think it's all too easy for them to draw 1 extra card. Get that 1 extra counter. Actually, guys, bottom ability on Tursa. Return Triumphant. We're alive! We're at 1, but we're alive! Eyeglass Siren. No! Another chump blocker that we can actually pop with the ability on the Hellkite. Unless they do map token. Holy cow. They bring back the Scholar. Yeah. Yeah, we were going to be stuck between a rock and a hard place regardless. Unless I actually... Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what we could actually do here. Because more mana off the top doesn't help us get past this now. They have enough chump blockers. Even if it did, we would have needed an excellent turn. Yeah, it is going to be more mana off the top too. Wow, guys, that's really good. But we're only at 1, so... Yeah, and we used a Plasma Bolt last turn too, so I guess we still wouldn't have had enough mana for, like, Virtue too. So we do have Virtue pop the Scholar. And Plasma Bolt does the same thing. I don't see a way to block Light Shatter and pop the other creatures. So while at 1, I think we're dead no matter what, right? So we definitely do the fun thing here. We warp in the Hellkite number 2. Pop the Siren, hopefully. See, since I used that Plasma Bolt last turn to survive... Yeah, it was still really good though, wasn't it? I mean, getting this close to some top tier Jeskai Mini Reanimator, it feels good. I guess if we had that 1 mana a turn sooner, I guess it would have been a completely different game, right? Hey, good game, opponent. Last match of the evening, get a fancy pants GG. I think we could have easily ended on a high note there. It was really good. We would have taken out Light Shatter earlier with some of our burn, maybe, but then they could always just bring it back too, and it has haste, so if they bring it back with like the Return Triumphant rather than something like a Helping Hand, it's actually a very brutal card. Wow. The game was very loud there for some reason. What was that about? End of video pack. Let's do it. Edge of Eternities. Ooh, rare wild card. Nice. What do we got here? Oh, that's one that I got to visit soon. I think that might be my second Pinnacle Emissary now. Honestly, if I don't get the other ones, maybe I'll craft it. Probably not, but it is definitely something I want to visit soon, so. No, it's my third. Oh, very nice. All right, guys, here's the deck list again. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I love Burn. It's like very rare that I bring Burn to the table and I'm just like, yeah, I didn't like this at all. Actually, I don't think I've ever said that. So, right. So, Magda. I was making a case for it in the middle of the video. I'm sticking to it. I like it in here. I think it belongs in certain deck lists, and Burn makes a lot of sense. If the opponents don't remove it early on, ramping into that top end, and the top end's pretty good in here, right? Even if it's just like 3 mana Hellkite with a couple extra cards in hand, or 3 mana Hellkite with a Boros Charm, it's pretty good. Extra mana on the table. Now 23 mana felt okay. I don't think I'd actually go up any. Even though I just made the case for the top end, we are ramping a little bit with Magda. We're trading out with Grab the Prize. We're trading out with Demand Answers sometimes too, right? So I think 23 mana makes a lot of sense. And I think the Lindblum makes a lot of sense here too for the adventure side. So when you do end up flooding out, which I flood out very often, regardless of the deck list. So I think Lindblum does make sense for this deck list. It's the only tapped land in here too. But if you only see like Lindblum and the Verge, and watch out for the Verge, guys. Like, I know that is taking the place of the planes in here, but the fact that it's 4 planes while the whole deck list requires, like, ignore this. It says 97%, but technically the whole deck list requires it because it's not counting the Omen on the Charring Bite here for the Twinmaw Stormbrood. So yes, this requires the red as well, because you're really not looking at this as a 6 mana creature. Very, very rarely will you actually just play this out as a 6 mana creature, maybe off of the ramp with the Magda. But at that point too, the Stormbrood doesn't have haste, where if you were ramping significantly with Magda, maybe you can actually sacrifice 3 treasure tokens, get the 4/4, and that Scorpion Dragon has flying and haste, so it's a little bit different. Very rarely will Stormbrood come down. I guess, you know, it's still in here for a good reason, though. And Omen side, 5 damage to creature without flying is a significant chunk of damage. This actually is the card that could have taken out that Tursa in that last game, right? So maybe we want more of them. Probably not, though. If I do go up a second one, I'd probably drop down to 2 Boltwaves, even though Boltwave would have been good in pretty much all of those matches, right? There is a problem with Boltwave and Magda where Boltwave doesn't target. So I guess there's a reason we don't have 4 Boltwaves, right? So 2 Boltwaves, go up another Stormbrood on the top end for more removal, I guess, could work pretty well. Guys, what about the Do Not Craft list? Sure, yeah. Probably put it on the Do Not Craft list, but this is also one where you could base it on your collection, but then also there's so many ways you could put Boros Burn together. The main cards are probably Boros Charm and Lightning Helix. That's like the main reason to go Boros. And so, for example, you don't have the Magda, even though I was making the case for it this whole time. You could probably just go up another Boros Charm and Lightning Helix. I mean, I would never do that because I have the Magda, right? But I don't know if you want to craft this either. It is a rare. You're not going to use it very often. It's got to be a very specific build too that's committing a lot of crime. We are committing a lot of crime in here with the targets on all the different burn from Burst Lightning, Plasma Bolt, Boros Charm also targets, right? Yes, target player or planeswalker. Lightning Helix, of course, too. The ability on the Nemesis targets as well. So Virtue of Courage, the adventure side targets. The ability on Nova Hellkite, deal 1 damage to target creature and opponent controls. So Yeah, lots of ways to commit crimes in here. Anyways, I'd still base it off of your collection. There's just some things where if you don't have them, you really don't want to craft them, right? Like if you don't have lightning, I guess you don't have to waste a mythic wild card on it because, again, very specific deck list. Where else are you going to play lightning at that point? Another Boros aggro build, I guess. But again, with so many ways to put Boros together, it's just not entirely necessary. Now, as a red player, I bring this up sometimes. Screaming Nemesis has been a well worthwhile craft for me as it goes into so many different red builds. Even some of my mid-range red decks play Nemesis successfully. So it's a mythic, but boy, it's been worthwhile for me just because I play so much red, especially. Nova Hellkite's a rare, isn't as bad as mythic, I guess. Virtue of Courage is a mythic too. So yeah, put it on the do not craft list. Go ahead and base this one on your collection, and I think you could have some fun with it for sure. It just really depends what your collection looks like too. Because if you're missing too many key pieces, you probably just want to look into a different style of burn. And there's some pretty good budget ways to put burn lists together, I would say. A lot of the honorable mentions I had over here today were actually pretty budget friendly overall, right? I guess if you had mono red in the past, you might have already been playing Hired Claw. If you go the Hired Claw route, you could push more creatures with Pyromancer, which is just a common. And then don't forget the Opera Love Song to either help you find more burn off of... Well, that works, I guess. Anyways, to either help you find more burn off the top or potentially boost those creatures off of a swing could be really good too. Yeah, I think there's a whole other route that we could take that might be more budget friendly, but even then, even if you go for a more budget friendly route, Screaming Nemesis probably still wants to make the cut as a 4 of, so that's noteworthy for sure. A lot of rares in the mana base, but then also at least those can be played in other Boros decks too, or other deck lists in general, so. All right, guys, I don't really have much to say about this one. It's a burn deck list. There's not a whole lot of crazy synergies going on here or anything. So, and I think the game spoke for it pretty well too. I'd actually consider the second Lightning as well. So 2 cards I would consider. I would consider the second Twinmaw Stormbrood, which is also pretty budget friendly, only at an uncommon here. That's pretty neat. And I would consider a second Lightning too if you already got it in your collection as well. But remember, guys, put it on the do not craft list. So if you go up those 2 cards, I would drop a Boltwave down to 1. And maybe the Demand Answers is a little unnecessary too, but I do think there are going to be lots of moments where that extra comes in handy, the same way that Grab the Prize comes in handy. But Grab the Prize pushing through the extra damage is actually really good. So that's why I would choose Demand Answers as the drop rather than one of the Grab the Prize. Okay, guys, enough rambling, huh? I think that's everything. If you made it this far into the video for real, y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video.